I was going to go for retaking the thumbnail, but I guess that's not happening now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Celeste's Silver Cord here, coming at you just with your morning cards and coffee. I wanted to go over some planetary retrogrades and just update on those. As always, if you need a reading or anything else like that, please links are below where you can order those. Or you can join us over at the Coven, the Silver Cord in our Facebook group. As always, if you like the videos, please like, share, subscribe, and spank my bell. Waiting to see how long it takes for these notifications to go off. Aye. Get the music and stuff set up. Everybody has been riding out these waves. It has been it's been a little intense for a lot of people. I just realized that Mars is going into shadow phase. Retrograde in Aries. So anybody who is in Aries, get ready for that. There's my instrumentals. Now ride with you to the moon, but guess what? Where is it? At work. Morning, good morning. Just getting set up here. Ken, you got it yesterday, honey? I am going to be going over, and what I was talking about was, let's see, the notifications finally go off. Yes. Now, if you've been having a hard time right now and things have been really triggering you, you want to check your chart and you want to see where Mars is, because Mars is going into shadow. And me and my boyfriend are both Aries, and it has, Mars is the warrior. Yeah, it's the Emperor card, the warrior card, the one who's trying to take control of their reality, and you're having a hard time butting heads with those that have opposing views to what you're trying to do. Or, I don't know. People are being very easily triggered right now. People are, if they are not being, see, talking about the Emperor card, and then I get Queen of the World out of here. Yeah, people are being very triggered. People are feeling very judged right now. Or they are being very judgmental, or they feel like everybody's being judgmental. There's a lot going on. I mean, you got, everybody's fighting over the most ridiculous things. Who should wear a mask? Who shouldn't wear a mask? Is it real? Is it all fake? All this other stuff that's going on in the world, and everybody has such strong, hard points of views on what's going on that everybody's fighting. And that is what a lot of people are like, oh, how are you just ignoring all the problems of the world? I'm not ignoring them. But I am recognizing the fact that everybody is fighting right now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's fighting right now, and it's not cool. Like, we got to chill out, guys. You got to stop fighting with everybody and arguing over silliness. That's what I mean. Me and my boyfriend are both Aries, and we ended up bickering about the validity of how cows are treated. And I'm like, and at the end of the day, it was like, wow, that was really a silly waste of time. It just is. We got to realize where we're kind of just wasting our time. And recognize that when you have that, it's almost like a caffeine rush when Mars is in retrograde, at least for me, because I am an Aries fire sign. So it does bring this, yeah. I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like you just said, that the virus is real and people need common sense. But here's the thing. Don't waste your time on those who aren't using common sense. Let Darwinism work itself out, guys. We don't need to fight everybody because that is putting you on the low vibration. When they can't scare us into a low vibration, they will try to get you into a low vibration by making you angry. That is not just how other people work. That is how politics work. That's how it all works. If they cannot get you through fear, the next way they're going to try to get you is through anger. And it's sad, but I mean, that is the premise of Star Wars and all those other movies. It's all about, the dark side is easier to succumb to than the light side, and the dark side is fear and anger. And if you allow these energies to manipulate you that way, and don't you doubt for a second that the powers that be that actually are running the show, they do follow astrology. They always have. Oh, no, I didn't open this up to be political in here today. That's not what we're doing, guys. But I'm saying is you guys got to stop being divided and stop fighting. Stop fighting. If someone doesn't want to vote the way you want to vote, there's no sense in arguing with them. There's so much dirt on every politician and everyone out there that, everybody's going to have a solid counter argument of why not to vote for the person you want to vote for. And everybody goes, jumps on their phones and they go to imright.com, and it's not worth it, y'all. It's not worth it. You guys are going to end up making yourselves sick, because if you stay in fear and anxiety, your body does release cortisol, and cortisol will make you sick. It'll weaken your immune system and it'll make you sick. It's no sense arguing over this stuff. That's all I'm saying. Believe what you want to believe. Do what you're going to do. Oh, was it Heaven Knows? That's it. Is it Heaven Knows the song? I got a song stuck in my head, but I can't think of what it is. Oh, well, we'll see what it comes out to later. But that is what I wanted to step into. Also, with Mars getting ready to go retrograde in Aries, its sign, bringing those horns along, the next zodiac that likes to headbutt as well, Taurus, is getting Uranus getting ready to go retrograde in its sign. So there's going to be a lot of that energy to just want to butt heads, or the stubborn energy of Taurus of not wanting to budge, and nothing you're going to do is going to be able to pull it. But you don't want to be manipulated by the matador either, right? You don't want somebody just waving a red flag around you and then just getting you to chase it. These are the things that we need to watch out for. He ain't a saint either, Joshua. Well, that's it. I mean, you can use these retrograding energies to your benefit. To your benefit. I mean, if you are in a situation where you have been feeling weak, then you can be empowered by these energies to stand your ground firm, hold solid boundaries, and, put people back in their place that have been misusing you. But if your life is relatively good and you allow these energies to manipulate you into fighting everybody, you could end up towering as a good situation, if that makes sense. Because I'm not just here to tell everybody, it's breakup time every time there's a retrograde. That's not what it's about. It's about, can you work through your issues? That's it. If you're in an abusive situation, this is the time to seize on these energies to stand strong. Or to stand strong on a path that you're on, a job that you want to do. You can use these energies to inspire you to go farther, or you can use these energies to cause you to fight with everybody around you, put yourself into a place of fear and anxiety and feeling judged all the time, and make yourself sick. So it's a choice. It's always a choice. But I will be working on these videos this week because Mars goes retrograde September 9th. So we're pre-shadow on that. And we are definitely pre-shadow. August 15th is when Uranus goes shadow, or goes full-on retrograde at 10 degrees of Taurus. And what is tens? Beginning of one cycle, the end of one cycle, the beginning of another. It is both the end of the cycle and the beginning of the cycle, because 0 and 1 still equal 1. Right? All right. Let's see. All right. So, which deck should we go with today, guys? I got the Fae, the Odyssey, or the Dragons. All right. So, starting out for the energies that we got today is on the shadow side, we have got Queen of My World and Fragmentation. These are kind of opposing energies because we also got 6 and 9 here. You got full moon, and then you've got the witch's moon. I'm taking these as actually positive cards. You are queen of your world. You guys are in charge of your reality around you and what you choose to engage in and what you choose not to engage in. Wherever you're putting your focus is where you want it to be. If you, and we talked about this with a friend this morning, this is fragmentation too. We're all trying to sew ourselves back up together. We've all been pulled into a million pieces, and now it's time to sew yourself back together. That is how you go through a spiritual awakening. It is meant to crumble you down to your core, and then you have to pick up all the pieces and put yourself back together and realize that you are in control of your own reality, right? We have river, movement. No matter what you do, you will continue to keep moving forward. That is part of the dynamic of living in linear time. No matter if even the clocks were to all stop, guess what? The sun will still rise tomorrow. It still sets. The moon will still cycle. We will still continue to keep moving forward regardless of whether you want to or not. So it is just a matter of, are you fighting the current or are you going with it? You can just ride around that bend and just wait and see. Wait and see. Is it a waterfall? Is it another beautiful landscape? Never gonna know if you never go around that bend, guys. Gotta make those decisions. Reflection. Reflect on the past, but don't dwell on it negatively. We were talking about that when people are journaling and stuff like that. We tend to get into these funks where we're just constantly just downloading all this negativity into a journal, which is fine if you really do need to release. But when you realize it has become a cycle, that might be something you gotta break. You don't want to keep looking back on it just negatively all the time. You want to be able to look back on your past and say, I was strong enough to get through that. I'm going to be strong now. I am not going to allow this to happen again. Or this happened today, and I'm not going to allow it to happen again. I also said, instead of journaling negativity about a bad day all day, instead choose to write like you are a year past whatever you are going through right now. It's next summer. You've done it. You've made that hard decision you've been trying to make. You have set a solid schedule for yourself, and you're getting ready to do it for yourself. And imagine just one day of what your life would be like next year if everything you're planning works out. What would you do with that day? And journal that out. And then let it go. When you do that kind of journaling, you got to let it go. But that is some way, and instead of constantly dwelling in the past and writing negatively about the past, that'll help you project positivity towards the future. Go with the Odyssey deck instead. I haven't used the Fae deck that much. It actually, it's got some pretty cool designs, but it's just basic. It's just more basic. The Odyssey definitely has its own personality. All right. Now, I will say with the Queen of the World card and with, like I said, Aries, getting Mars, getting ready to go retrograde in it, and already Chiron's already there. With the Queen of the World energy and all that warrior energy going on right now, you don't want to be an evil dictator either. You know what I'm saying? We can go through, see, conflict card. That causes conflict. If you're constantly walking around popping everybody in the head with a stick every time they say or do anything you dislike even the slightest, you're going to cause conflicts for yourself. And that's the other thing with the judgmental. If you're walking around feeling judgmental all the time, you might want to look and see if you've been judging other people too harshly, because that can be a projection of what you've got going on. All right. So conflict, feeling trapped, needing time to recuperate here. A lot of us are stuck in these cycles of conflict and we feel trapped in them, imprisoned. And we need time to recuperate. This card is in the Illusionment card. I mean, it's the Ace of Pentacles, but in this deck, Ace of Pentacles. I do this to myself all the time. Diamonds, there it is. Perception, yeah. This is the Illusion card. A lot of people went out sailing back in the day and they dreamt up all these wild monsters living in the sea, and they were really just big old whales. There was nothing to worry about. There wasn't mermaids. There were manatees and seals that they just couldn't see from a distance. You know, all the monsters in those stories just ended up being regular animals. So if you're searching for monsters out in the world to fight, you will find monsters out in the world to fight. There's risk. This is the difference. This card really is about, like, his world gets turned upside down and he ends up on the desert island, right? Now, he's on the desert island for a while, and this is kind of like going through a dark night of the soul. Eventually, you got to return to the world, guys. You're not supposed to live on an island unto yourself forever. You're supposed to be able to engage with the rest of the world, you know? Wilson. Yes, exactly. So a lot of us are going through that phase of, yeah, we feel like we don't fit into society right now. And this is telling you that you need to focus on your team and those around you that do kind of see what you are. And I know that's kind of hard right now because, yeah, a lot of us are separated by a lot of distance from those around us that believe the same way we do. But we still need to find a way to celebrate and work with those that we do. This card is all about resilience. This card is about this girl was taken and then she ended up becoming married into royalty by resilience and education and taking care of herself and doing what she had to move through society. You know, sometimes I know society sucks and I know you have to deal with a lot of programmed people and things like that. But if they're programmed, then you shouldn't have a problem being able to work with them without it becoming an argument. You'll know what their triggers are too, so why bring them up? Right? This is about resilience, guys. This is about making it through this shift. You know, everybody does this thing where, and everybody falls for this. I fall for this too. Where you think you're so much smarter than everybody else that they couldn't possibly see what you see. But that's like writing off what a child has to say for me. You know, some of the most profound things you're going to hear is from a child. Why? Because they see things you don't see. So, assuming everybody is... Be mindful you don't try to make people feel stupid when you are trying to make your point, is what I'm saying. Because I know I have a hard time with that. Most Aries do. And it's the reason, you know, the whole thing yesterday about cows, you know, and it was just ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. But that's really what it was, is that, you know, and it's a nonsense argument. And you got to recognize, you know, when you're in those cycles. And then if they do happen, don't be afraid to apologize and work through it either. You know. I think, you know, a lot of us need to start learning how to live with society again. You know, you can't complain about it and want it to change and not engage with it anymore. But at the same time, you can't engage in the divides, guys. And I say that a lot too. You can be a survivor or you can be a victim. It's a choice. You either survived your circumstances or you're a victim of them. The amount of mental energy is the same. Just one's easier than the other. But I would say victimhood mentality is not going to do you any favors. You're not going to accomplish anything in life with that. What we need to be doing is Emperor energy. Seize on these energies. Just because it's a retrograde doesn't mean it has to cause a ton of conflict, right? This is about seizing on those energies to accomplish the goals that you're working towards. Queen of Swords, be mindful of your words. She is quick thinking. She is perceptive. But the queen is usually the one that always diffuses the situations when the kings start fighting. She is the one that sits down and pulls out the thing and goes, this is not decorum. This is not how we act at court, right? That's the queen's job. quick thinking, perceptive, take control of the situations. You are smart enough to diffuse them, you know? It's really bright coming in there. There's just nothing I'm going to be able to do about that. You have to ride it out with me, guys. I got the 5 of Cups here, and this is disappointment. And this is letting go of the disappointments of the past. Things didn't work out the way you wanted them to, but, you know, it's time to let go of things not working out the way you wanted them to, and just understand that that just, for whatever reason, was not what the universe had in plan for you. King of Pentacles. Take control over what you have around you and your space around you and your surroundings and yourself, you know. Get out of these 9 of Swords cruelty. Stop being cruel to yourself. The 9 of Swords is being cruel to yourself. That is picking yourself apart and beating yourself up in your own mind. Stop it. Stop it. You're not stupid. You didn't make a mistake. You didn't waste your time. You're not ugly and fat now and past your prime or any of that other jargon we all go through our heads and beat ourselves up with because we're not perfect teenagers anymore. Let all that go, man. Let it all go, because you're just using it to trap yourself in situations you don't need to be trapped in. You love yourself, and you're going to be fine. You know, you're okay. And if any of those things bother you, there are things you can do to help yourself feel better about yourself. Like I said, small goals. Do things nice for yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of your vessel. You'll feel better, I promise. Ace of Swords reversed. Be mindful of your words. They can be used against you. It is up to you to decide whether or not you want to engage in fighting with people. And the Empress. Nurture the ground that you stand on. Concentrate over what you are most in charge of. You are in charge of taking care of yourself. You are in charge of whatever lives you have chosen to take in. Be it children, be it animals, you know, be it an elderly parent. You know, if their lives depend on you, then yes. Right? If they would die without you, those are what you worry about. Anybody else? They're either helping you get better or be a better version of yourself, or they're making you feel worse about yourself. And that's what you need to address as to whether or not you want to continue to feed that kind of connection. All right, we'll get some magic cards and then do the recap. Whew. Let's stop that. We got nothing to cover it. I'm going to fix that light just as soon as I get one more card. Let's see. That's better. Got my Ganesh statue over here helping me hold my curtains. Of course, now the other one's free. I've still yet to find a good way. It is sunbeams. It was the sun coming through just the very edge of the corner of the window there, so I moved the other curtain. All right. So let's do the full recap for everybody. Let's see where I take this off. My damn sleeves are in freaking light. All right, so we got Queen of My World. And I'm saying now with Mars going into shadow with its retrograde in Aries, there is being queen of your world, and then there is being an evil dictator of your world. Be mindful of what energies you're using. Always be aware of how you're making other people feel too. You don't want to make people feel bad. When you make people feel bad, that gets projected back on you. We got to start finding ways to communicate without making other people feel bad, but still be in control of our reality. That is our choice. right? Fragmentation. We have all been broken down to pieces. That is part of doing the dark night of the soul. That is part of the spiritual awakening. It is the not so fun part when you are pulled all the way apart down to the core and you have to go through and shift through what parts are actually you and what parts are what other people have put in, and changing your perceptions and rewiring your programming and stuff like that. And that comes with headaches and sleeping spells and all kinds of waves and crashes, and you start feeling all these retrogrades hit you harder than they normally do. And that's all because it's meant to really do that big shakeup for you. But you are queen of your world, and or king if you're a guy. You are in control of your reality, right? We got the river and we got the reflection, right? How much have you been fighting the universe as it's been trying to pull you in certain directions? Because a lot of times we do this, I'm queen of the world, I control everything, I think I know what's best for me. And meanwhile, the universe has been like, just come around this bend. Just come see what's over here. But you're too busy swimming this way because you're like, no, I found this spot. I want to stay in this spot. And the universe is like, just look around here. Just come on. Just come on. And reflect on how many times you're fighting the universe from telling you exactly what you need to know anyway. And you're just not listening to it and you're deciding to stay stuck. Right? That brings conflict. That brings imprisonment. This is conflicts of feeling trapped and imprisoned in your situation. You need to recuperate. You need to realize that a lot of these monsters you see in the world are because you are focusing on all the monsters in the world. A lot of these monsters are just big, stupid whales. That goes for 99 of the conversation I was going over here with politicians too. Sometimes you guys are like, oh, they're a monster, and they're really just a big stupid whale. You know, stop stressing all that stuff. There's still people. Every person on the planet is just a person in the end. Not everybody is these horrid monsters, right? You've been on an isolated island just a little bit too long with your thoughts by yourself. You need to start thinking about how to actually be a person again and start navigating through the world of being able to work with people. You know, find your team, your soul tribe, those who speak your language that you can have a good time and celebrate with. You know, I'm having a cookout today. We got Rob's mom coming. She's awesome. She's crafty. I think I'm going to bust out some craft stuff and see what we can get going with the kids. You know, that's what I mean by you're in control of your own reality, you know? Adapt. You have to find a balance between being wild and being part of society, and you need to use the knowledge you've attained to adapt better to the world. We cannot change the world and not be a part of it and stay on these isolated little islands in our own minds, right? Emperor. These energies that are retrograding in Aries right now, this is the Aries card. You can seize on these energies to make changes in your life, or you can let them rock you. It's up to you on what you want to do. Be mindful of your words. Be clear thinking. Be perceptive, but be mindful of them and do not say things that do not need to be said. Do not argue when there doesn't need to be an argue. You should be the one. You set the energy for the room. If you hold your manners and act right, you can get everybody else to act right too. And speak clearly and quick thinking. And when you see a problem, you know, with other people starting to arise, find a way to mitigate the situation without it becoming a big scene. That's it. You are in control of your reality. You can do that. You're quick thinking enough. You just can't act like a know-it-all and be too aggressive, which these energies can do that for you. 5 of Cups. Time to let go of the disappointment of things that did not work out the way you wanted them to. It happens. Right? Sometimes the things that work out the best for you are things you did not even know you wanted until it happened. And a lot of things that you were actually pushing for, the universe took away on purpose for a reason. Let it go. Let disappointments go. Let disappointments in other people go. Stop blaming people for not being what you wanted them to be. They who are who they are, right? King of Pentacles. Be in charge of your domain. Be disciplined, be controlled within yourself. This whole thing is learning how to control yourself. That's why there's been this whole highlight on addictions and things of that nature. Are you even in control of yourself? Are you controlled by other things and other people? This is about taking responsibility about that, being disciplined and being controlled with yourself without other people having to do it. Stop beating yourself up. That beating yourself up, that internal struggle is what's making you feel like you're judged all the time, which is leading to a lot of arguments with everybody. Everybody thinks everybody else is being so judgmental while they're being judgmental. Gotta let it go, guys. We gotta stop fighting over nonsense. Ace of Swords reverse. Stop wasting your words on nonsense, right? Nurture the ground that you stand on. Love those that deserve love. Love those in your life that need it the most. The grass is always going to be greener on the other side if you don't even take the time to water yours. Magic cards for today. Protection. We got the Helm of Awe here. Strong protective magic for the family and the home. Protect yourself. Put on some protective crystals. Put on your protective jewelry. Draw this sigil somewhere on you or on a piece of paper and put it in your wallet or whatever. Protect yourself from energies that want to fight. Some people are going to try to trigger you. I have friends that work in retail, and there's always that asshole that comes in and goes, "Who are you voting for?" And she's like, "I'm on the clock. I'm not arguing politics with customers." Protect yourself from those kind of energies. It's your choice whether you want to engage with them or not. You want to let them put you into fear and anxiety and cause you to release cortisol, make yourself sick. That is your choice and your power. Protect yourself from that. The Tree of Life, true wisdom and making good life choices, right? It is always your choice. It's always your choice on how dramatic you want it to be. I've been saying that for years. It's as dramatic as you want it to be. And I know that I'm an Aries, I'm a triple fire sign. I actually have 5 fire placements. It is dramatic as you want it to be. Make good choices. Choose what you wish to engage in. All right. I love y'all. Yeah, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. I probably won't be on later. Like I said, I got a barbecue and everything to do today. But I will be on tomorrow. I will be on getting those retrograde videos done this week for you. And yeah. Namaste. Blessed be all those who walk these paths with me. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.